And President Trump outlined some new federal guidelines for reopening the country, urging state governors to base their decisions on data. Eamon Javers joins us now with more. They put a lot of thought into it, Eamon. Watched it, different phases, different places open. I wasn't really quite sure, and I wasn't that happy that gyms are going to reopen right away. I've been enjoying not doing that, but gyms don't seem like a place that you necessarily want to open that quickly. But I guess if you keep social distancing and keep everything clean, it works. But interesting, what made certain phases and what didn't, and what's involved. I thought, Eamon, did you watch the whole press conference?
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. And you'll be more disappointed to learn that the gyms are reopening before the bars are reopening. So that's to the downside for certain people, depending on whatever lifestyle choices you're making. Look, the president backed away. You remember that assertion that he had earlier in the week, right, where the president said he had absolute authority to order the governors to reopen. Now he's saying this is going to be a decision that he's going to leave to the governors, which is an admission of sort of practical and political reality here. But they rolled out these series of guidelines that you're talking about. The president explained why he feels the country just has to get back to business. Here's what he said.
A national shutdown is not a sustainable long-term solution. To preserve the health of our citizens, we must also preserve the health and functioning of our economy. Over the long haul, you can't do one without the other. Cannot be done.
So here are the phases that you're talking about, Joe, starting with phase one. And there they are, the gyms. Large venues and elective surgeries can start in phase one. That is, once states hit certain medical criteria and their governor decides that it's okay to move forward, that can happen. In phase two, that's where schools come into play and the bars. Non-essential travel can start at that point. And then phase three, that's when you're starting to talk about visits to senior citizens. Staffing and occupancy can increase for a lot of businesses in that third phase. But it looks like what's contemplated here, Joe, is we're going to be dealing with all of these new lifestyles that we've developed through this whole process. Social distancing, teleworking, and protections for the vulnerable are going to be on the menu for a long time to come. So it's not clear exactly when any of these can start. The president didn't give a specific date for any particular state. He did say, though, that he thinks that a lot of states are in a good position right now, and some could start opening as soon as today, Joe. We'll see whether that happens or not as the governors make their own individual decisions.
Yeah, he said some states might be ready. Governor Cuomo and, 5 or 6 other East Coast types went to May 15th, which is a long way off, Eamon. And I'm wondering if there's any wiggle room there. Maybe that really will take that long, but that was disappointing, obviously. I don't even think the stock market liked that that much. It sold off at the same time. We never know cause and effect, but that seemed like a little bit of a... I don't know. People were thinking May 1st. I don't know if we were really thinking May 1st for anywhere around here, honestly. But May 15th just is like another, obviously like another month, Eamon.
Well, look, and it's going to depend on the schools, right? I mean, you can't get the majority of the workforce back to work if the kids are still home at school. Parents just won't be able to leave the house, or not all the parents will be able to leave the house. So that school decision is going to be so important state by state. And I think it's fascinating that you're seeing now this breakup regionally of the country into 3 different areas where you have the West Coast governors working together to do something there. You've got the East Coast governors led by Governor Cuomo all deciding to sort of move in concert as best they can. And now yesterday we saw this additional announcement of a Midwestern governors coalition. So they're going to try to do something regionally in the Midwest as well. So the federal government's not telling everybody what to do, but the regional governors have all decided they need to work together on this because they don't want uneven rules across state lines and people hopping back and forth across those state lines for different benefits. Maybe the bars or the gyms, depending on which state is open.